Yo, what's up guys? Got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset video, guide, analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about Ribombee, the bug and fairy type Pokemon. Now, before we actually get into this video, I just want to say there's a playlist down below if you want to check out any of my previous moveset videos. I encourage you to do so. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. Keep up to date with me and whatnot and know when I stream. So, Ribombee, really interesting Pokemon, being bug and fairy type. It has an immunity to dragon, so that's awesome. Just being fairy type in general automatically, I believe, makes a Pokemon at least semi-viable. Just having that immunity to dragon is huge, especially also having a resistance to fighting, ground, bug, grass, and dark. So it has a bunch of key resistances, but outside of that, it doesn't really have anything else. I mean, it's weak to flying, poison, rock, steel, and fire. I really do like the resistances, though. I think especially the immunity to dragon, the resistance to dark, and the resistance to ground are really what Ribombee has going for it, because those are very, very common types in competitive, just offensively. And Ribombee has base 124 speed. That boy is wearing a choice scarf. I don't know why, but he forgot to take off his choice scarf and no one told him, and he could switch up his moves, but he has base 124 speed, so he has 381 speed. That's faster than Greninja, that's faster than Latios, that's fast as hell. And base 95 special attack, so pretty decent special attack, amazing speed, and after that it doesn't really have much else going for it. Base 60 HP, base 55 attack, base 60 defense, and base 70 special defense. So outside of that, its stats are pretty mediocre. Now the first set we have is the Quiver Sweeper Dance set, because Ribombee does have the move Quiver Dance, which raises your special attack, special defense, and speed by 1. So it does make it a pretty cool sweeper. Now the item, I don't have it filled in, but there are a few items that you could have. You could have leftovers for longevity, especially when you pack that with dual screens, Life Orb for the outright power, and then Focus Sash if you pair. I was about to say pass, sorry. I was just reading Quiver Dance and passing. If you pair this with Hazard Removal, Rapid Spin, Defog, Support, Focus Sash is definitely a viable option to allow it to set up. So the moveset is Moonblast. Moonblast is your best form of stab. Fairy is amazing offensively, being able to cover dragon types, fighting types, dark types, and doing neutral to grass types and psychic types. And because of that, even though Bug Buzz is the second move, this is optional. Bug Buzz can definitely be optional. You can mix this up with Psychic. Psychic allows you to damage Pokemon such as Toxapex, Venusaur, Amoonguss, where you can also run Energy Ball. Energy Ball can hit fat ground types like Hippowdon and Gastrodon for a lot more damage, as well as bulky water types like that. Now, the next move is Hidden Power. Hidden Power can either be fire or ground or ice. Ice would hit Landorus and Gliscor, whereas Moonblast already hits Garchomp. But Hidden Power ground allows you to deal with Pokemon such as Magnezone, Marowak Alolan form, and Heatran, whereas Hidden Power fire lets you deal with Scizor, Ferrothorn, Skarmory, and Celesteela. The only problem is Scizor can knock you out with Bullet Punch, which is why your Focus Sash obviously comes in hand after you get the +1 special attack. But I think that Hidden Power Ground is a little bit better on this mon, honestly, and I'll talk about why when I talk about the partners that you can pair it with. Now, the ability can either be Sweet Veil, which gives you an immunity to sleep, or Shield Dust, which means that secondary effects it's not affected by. So Scald can't burn you, Thunderbolt can't paralyze you, moves like that, whereas Sweet Veil means that you cannot be put to sleep. So that really is up to you. I think that this mon excels more in doubles than it would in singles, but obviously I'm talking about its viability in singles. But I do think this mon is going to be like NU or RU when the tiers officially come out. That high base speed is really cool. It does have some really fun options, but it really is up to you what you want to use. Sweet Veil means you can't be put to sleep, whereas again Shield does prevent you from being affected by secondary effects. So let's say you're Quiver Dancing up and your opponent's only play is to Thunderbolt paralyze you. If you're in Shield Dust, that obviously cannot happen. I like Sweet Veil though, it can't be put to sleep, but it is up to you. But the moveset is Moonblast, Hidden Power of choice, Quiver Dance, and then the last move could either be Energy Ball, Psychic, or Bug Buzz for Bug Stab. The only thing that Bug Buzz hits over Moonblast would be Psychic types and Grass types. Other than that, Moonblast already covers the Dark types, and it covers so much more. Just than Bug Buzz does, but Bug Buzz is definitely a viable option. Next up, we have Specs. Because of its high base speed, it can definitely run a Specs set, especially because it has access to U-turn and Baton Pass. So Specs can run Moonblast, just max speed, max special attack. Again, I think that because this is just a hitter and not really trying to set up, I think Sweet Veil is better than Shield Dust, just because, you know, being able to come in on a Spore, being able to come in on a Dark Void, though that's, nah, unless you're using this thing in Ubers. Don't use it in Ubers. Actually, I don't know, Bug Fairy. We'll see. I'll talk to my boy Edgar. I'll talk to Problems. I'll talk to Palm Man. We'll see. But Moonblast is definitely your first move of choice. You outspeed Greninja, man. You can knock that thing out with a Moonblast. That's pretty clean. Hidden Power, obviously, I talked about it. Ground or Fire. It's up to you. You want to hit Heatran, you want to hit Marowak, you want to hit Magnezone, or do you want to hit Scizor, Skarmory, Ferrothorn, Celesteela? And it's mainly not really Celesteela or Spadef Skarmory. Celesteela is not being 2-hit KO'd by this thing's Hidden Power Fire, Specs Hidden Power Fire, nowhere. Especially not after Protect, has Leech Seed. It OHKOs you with Heavy Slam. Your little B, you're not going to take on this Celestial Temple, Totem Pole, whatever the hell it is. But Hidden Power is up to you. Baton Pass is cool because you do force switches. If you bring this thing on like a fighting type or like a Greninja will switch out. So Baton Pass allows you to get some momentum if you know your opponent is going out into Celesteela or Skarmory or Ferrothorn or like that. You can Baton Pass out into like a partner like Magnezone, and that's why I was mentioning earlier how I like Hidden Power Ground, because Magnezone pairs well to get rid of mons such as Skarmory, Scizor, Ferrothorn, and Celesteela for Ribombee, and Hidden Power Ground allows it to deal with opposing Magnezone, Marowak, and Heatran, all of which Magnezone doesn't really like to take on. Opposing Magnezone can trap your Magnezone if it's locked in the Thunderbolt, and if it's Specs, knock it out with HP Fire, things like that. Whereas Heatran threatens it with Fire and Ground type attacks, and Marowak obviously with Lightning Rod, he can't Volt Switch around and resist Flash Cannon and whatnot. So I like Hidden Power Ground, and Baton Pass is also, like I said, very nice because you can get on out of there, you force switches, and get to bring in maybe a good partner for it. So next up on the spec set, Energy Ball or Psychic. Again, Bug Buzz is also used, but I think Psychic or Energy Ball is better, especially when you're specs, because you can actually 2-hit KO Pokemon like Amoonguss, like Venusaur, with specs damage, whereas Bug Buzz, again, still a viable option. So Energy Ball, Psychic, Bug Buzz, last move on the spec set. Now we have Quiver Pants? Ooh, that sounds clean too. We have Quiver Dance, excuse me, sorry, I'm mixing up all my words. We have Quiver Dance passing. If you're playing by Smogon rules, you cannot Baton Pass a Quiver Dance boost. However, if you're not playing by Smogon rules, maybe you're playing on Battle Spot, maybe you're just playing with your friends, maybe you just don't care, I'm gonna do what you want. Maybe I'm challenging Blender to a battle, it's a custom battle, and I'm using Quiver Pass versus him because I don't care. But it's Quiver Dance plus Baton Pass. So the idea of this set is to sub up versus maybe something like that you force a switch on. So maybe with Greninja, you sub up on it, or you Quiver Dance on the predicted switch, and then you Baton Pass to a partner, giving them that +1 speed, that +1 special attack, and that +1 special defense that could take on whatever comes in. Moonblast is the preferred move because it actually lets you damage Pokemon such as Greninja, such as Garchomp, such as Latios, which you can actually threaten and sub and Quiver Dance pass on. Again, Leftovers is the preferred item, as it allows you to make more subs and gain some, you're boosting your Spadef, which is already pretty decent in base 70. But the idea of this set is you can just Quiver Dance and pass to a partner, especially if you get up a sub, they have to go for the move that they think will break Ribombee sub. Like, let's say Celesteela comes out, it might Flamethrower or Heavy Slam. If you know it's going to do that, you can just pass to something that can take on Celesteela. You can go to your own Celesteela, to be honest. But Sweet Veil or Shield Dust is the abilities. Obviously, Honey Gather has unfortunately no competitive use. That would be so cool though if I could just find honey during the middle of my battle and just put it in my tea or something. Shout out to Duncan. Like, well, I always wish this was like competitive and it just heals me. I always wish it just healed me during battle, but unfortunately no. But Shield Dust or Sweet Veil, it really is up to you. I think because this thing isn't really going to be taking hits, I think Sweet Veil is better. It just gives you more opportunities to at least pass, I think, anyway. Because Spore, Sleep Powder, those options are all out there. Now, it does have a few other options. It does have access to Roost, which could probably be used on a Quiver Dance set. However, because of its low base HP, low base defenses, and mediocre special defense, which I guess is cured by the Quiver Dance, Roost isn't too good of an option. Stun Spore is definitely an option on this mon. The ability to paralyze your opponent 75% of the time, definitely an option. It could be used on maybe like a Focus Sash set with like Stun Spore, Quiver Dance, Toxic again. Being worn down, maybe with Stun Spore, Toxic, wear down your opponent. U-Turn is also an option, but it does have Baton Pass. I like Baton Pass better than U-Turn, because you don't have to worry about touching your opponent where they could have Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, Iron Barbs, respectively, anything like that. Maybe they could burn you if they bring out a Flame Body Pokemon, so I'd much rather have, or you know, a random Baneful Bunker from Toxapex, but I'd much rather have Baton Pass. Other options are, of course, Aromatherapy. It could be used as a fast Cleric. It does have high base speed, so you can be using this if your team lacks a Cleric and you want to use Ribombee. And outside of that, maybe the PokeaimMD, just to boost your fairy attack. And but yeah, outside of that, there's not really much that Ribombee can do. I wouldn't really run Choice Scarf, maybe Choice Scarf Modest if you did run Choice Scarf, but I don't think it has the best special attack to abuse Choice Scarf, but it does have that speed stat. Unfortunately, if it's not, just a little bit more, it'd be faster than like Scarf Latios and whatnot. But thank you everybody for watching. Before we actually leave, I just want to show you some partners. Magnezone is probably the best partner that you could pair with Ribombee. Ribombee really appreciates Skarmory, Ferrothorn, Celesteela, Scizor being trapped. So I would definitely run a Hidden Power Fire Magnezone with this thing. Dugtrio, likewise, is a very nice partner, especially if you are running Hidden Power Fire over Hidden Power Ground. Dugtrio can trap opposing Magnezone as well as Heatran, and even though Marowak Alola form cannot be trapped if you run Pursuit, the fact that Dugtrio has base 100 attack now and they switch out because ghost types cannot be trapped by Rita Trap or in general, you'll get a hefty amount of damage. It has base 100 attack now. That boy is clean. Latios and Starmie, very solid partners. They rapid spin away hazards. Starmie offensively can deal with Amoonguss, Venusaur, Toxapex Pokemon that Ribombee might not want to deal with, whereas Latios can also deal with those Pokemon, defog away the hazards. It can lure in Scizor with HP Fire and Ferrothorn with HP Fire, Skarmory and Celesteela with Thunderbolt, lure Heatran with Earthquake. It's a very solid partner for Ribombee. And then Greninja is also, Protean Greninja is a very solid partner as well. Having Protean Hidden Power Fire, becoming a Fire type, dealing with Ferrothorn, Hydro Pump to mess with Heatran. It could even spike up on a switch, and spikes are very nice for getting this thing to sweep. So spikes are options. Skarmory and Ferrothorn therefore are also options as spikers. Frostlass even as an offensive spiker for this Pokemon. But these are partners that Ribombee does have, I think, that work best with it. Anything honestly that fits these roles. You can run Magneton over Magnezone. If Envy's watching this, he might run Trapinch over Dugtrio, get one kill and call it Trapinch live. Latias over Latios, you know, things like that. But in any case, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Links are down below. And I'll see you guys with the showcase later today. Goodbye, friends.